Hi, this is Michael O'Leary from Buy the Book Taxes again with this week's video blog. Last week, I gave an overview of a tax resolution option called Innocent Spouse Relief and spoke about the three different types of innocent spouse relief. Over the next 3 weeks, we're going to take each one individually, and I'm going to walk you through it. Today, what I'm going to speak about is what's known as traditional innocent spouse relief under Internal Revenue Code section 6015B. First, a little history. A couple of concepts we spoke about last week. Joint and several tax liability for married couples filing joint returns. This was first enacted by Congress in 1938. Now, due to complaints from taxpayers that many times the results from the 1938 legislation generated inequitable results for a given spouse, in 1971, the IRS created innocent spouse relief under the code section then 6013. Taxpayers still complain that many times the results for separating or divorcing couples were inequitable to one of the spouses. So in 1998, as part of a larger IRS Reform Act legislation, the Congress repealed Section 6013 and replaced it with Code Section 6015 and expanded beyond what used to be the traditional innocent spouse claim to now have three different variations of the innocent spouse filing. The first, 6015B, is the traditional, which is the same basically as the old section 6013. But then there's two new ones, 6015C, which is called separation of liability, 6015F, which is called equitable relief. In the next two presentations, I will talk about 6015C, separation of liability, 1 week, and 6015F, equitable relief, another week. Okay, so what are the requirements for successfully filing an innocent spouse claim under Internal Revenue Code section 6015B? There's four that I list here. The most important thing is, was an actual valid joint return filed by a married couple, And what is defined by valid is that each spouse knows a joint return is being filed and it is not being filed under any duress or threat. It must be with the consent of both parties. That is the number one requirement. Then for a 6015B, on the tax return, there must be an understatement of tax because one spouse didn't report all the income or attempted to claim either erroneous expenses or erroneous credits, resulting in less tax being due than required, and the other spouse had no knowledge or reason to know of the underreporting of income or erroneous reporting of expenses and credits. The third one is, it would be inequitable, unfair to hold the spouse who's requesting innocent relief liable for the tax based upon these items of which they had no knowledge or reason to have knowledge of. The fourth is, excuse me, a time frame. Typically what happens is one spouse who generates the income will not respond to the IRS collection letters, so the IRS goes after the other spouse. The spouse requesting the innocent spouse relief must make the filing within 2 years of when the IRS initiates collection activity against them. You can't wait forever. It's got to be within 2 years of the IRS's attempt to collect from the spouse requesting relief. Okay, here's what a successful innocent spouse filing looks like under Code Section 6015B. The IRS will allocate the tax liability of the two spouses based upon the income contribution of each spouse. And the requesting spouse will only be liable for the tax associated with their income. The important word there is allocation. The tax liability gets allocated between spouses. A requesting spouse may also receive refunds. For example, in a subsequent year, after maybe they're separated or divorced, maybe the IRS has taken a refund from a subsequent tax year to satisfy a prior tax debt of a divorced couple. You can get that money refunded to you if the innocent spouse relief is granted within 3 years of the original tax filing date. If you have years of unfiled tax returns, owe the IRS a lot of money, recently got separated or divorced, and the IRS is coming after you for your spouse or ex-spouse's tax liabilities, give me a call. I can help.